The opinions expressed in this podcast are those of the speakers and not of DoD or any of its components.
Take me to the countryside. Gotta get out of these city lights. Drinking my cup, got me feeling right.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the R-Check. I'm back. I bet y'all thought I fucking quit, didn't you? No, I didn't. Never really even thought about it. So just to get a couple things out of the way, you probably hear that, right? So I'm keeping a friend's birds. I don't know. They keep me company. They're going to be very distracting during the podcast, so I apologize in advance. But I don't know. They're cool, man. They chirp a lot, and I don't know, keep me company for the last couple weeks that I'm here in Massawa, because I'm about to head back home to Yokosuka, baby. Let's do this. Okay, so get that out of the way. Second thing, the mustache. Okay, it's not permanent. All right, it's not it is a an expensive facial accessory, but it's not permanent. Okay, like I'm kind of looking at. So I got back from vacation, which I'll get to in just a second. But so my last kind of like 6 weeks here in Massawa, I looked at as almost like being on patrol or on deployment. So this is like my version of a boat stash for my last month here in Massawa. But it came in pretty nice. It's barely in regs. It's fine. It's coming off. So I'll be shaving that on the evening of the 19th of August in preparation for heading back home to Yokosuka. So anyways, bitches, I'm back. The Rising Sun, Dean Howell. Let's do this. So, a few things I'm going to talk about. First of all, man, I got to go home on vacation with the family, and we were in the States for 40 days, and it was fucking amazing. I mean, it was so nice, man. Like, and I got to bring them places that they'd never been before, and for all these years we go home, and if I got 15, 16 days, I was lucky, and so basically I would split time between Texas and Louisiana, and that was the deal, dude. Like, and this time, so we got back, spent some time at Mom's house out on the lake at Rayburn, and then I won't give you the vacation slideshow, but I will hit the major high points. So we, spent some time there. We went to SeaWorld in San Antonio. It was hot as balls. It was 106 degrees. I thought the kids were going to melt. They got to see the orca show, which is like a rite of passage if you're a kid from the South. Not just from the South, but especially for us that would go to SeaWorld in San Antonio. Hey, big ups to SeaWorld in San Antonio. I mean, I got those tickets basically for free, right? And they really take care of the military community there, so good job to you guys. And then from there we made that long drive to Baton Rouge, went and stayed with Trampus for a little while, went down to Grand Isle. I could probably do a whole podcast about that shit show. We went fishing. I'll keep it short. Maybe I will get into it at some point, but bottom line is that we were dead in the water, like in the Gulf of Mexico, for a hot minute. I ended up catching a big-ass cobia, probably about a 35-pound cobia. There's some videos of it on Instagram and stuff like that. So it turned out to be an awesome trip. Elizabeth got super seasick. I wish I'd have given her some Dramamine. I didn't, but it was pretty funny, man. But just a fantastic time hanging out with Jamie and Trampus down on Grand Isle. From there we went to Winfield, had a Howell family reunion, which we haven't done in I don't even know the last time we did it. And man, it was just great seeing everybody and actually meeting a lot of people that I'd never met before, right? Like, that's how long it's been since the Howell family got together down at the old house place in Pacton. And then so after that we drove over to Fort Worth, hung out with Matt and Dave for a little while. Oh man, it was a good time. We had fun. Got to meet Desiree and Matt's kids and let them hang out, and it was the craziest thing, man. Like Hazel and Kylie are like the same person. It's kind of fucking creepy, actually. But Desiree was fantastic, and and little Colton, man, and Kaylee, and just I don't know, man. We had a great time. Stayed at the Omni there in Fort Worth. While we were there, we did some things. Matt and I had some business stuff that we had to take care of, and I'll kind of talk about that in a minute. And then we went down to Austin just for like one night, man, like legit one night. We went to this. We were like walking around town. It was super hot, so it was hard to like really enjoy it. But like we were sitting in the Starbucks, and this homeless dude's like banging on the door trying to get in. I'm just like, these are the moments that I do not miss about the States. From there, went down to Houston, went to NASA. So Millie went to D.C. To stay with Joy for about 5 days, and when I get down to Yokosuka, we're gonna do a podcast together, and I'll let her kind of talk about that adventure that she had. I think it was eye-opening in a lot of ways, a lot of funny smells, if you know what I'm saying. But anyways, she had a great time. Like I said, we went to NASA, mom and dad, and Elizabeth and mommy and I went to NASA. Had a great time. Hung out in Houston for a few days. Went to a ghetto mall, which it was funny. They're like, you want to go to the mall? I was like, yeah, I'll take you to a mall. Yeah, they didn't stay very long. So, anyways, and so then went back to mom's house. We're planning on leaving very soon thereafter, but because NAF PTO is fucking amazing, I got stuck in the States for 10 extra days. And so, like, I'm not complaining. I mean, I was on the lake at my mom's house. It was fantastic, right? But what a shit show Navy transportation is. It's a fucking disaster, and I don't care. Email me, call me. I'll tell you all about it. It was a fucking shit show. But anyways, not to be negative. So anyways, that was the vacation. It was so good, and then coming back to Misawa just to kind of close up this 2 years that I've been here. It's bittersweet. Like, that's so cliche, but truly I understand the meaning of that term. It is bittersweet, man. Like, I'm ready to go. Obviously, I'm ready to get back home to Yokosuka and wake up with the family every day and have dinner and like go to activities and. But at the same time, man, I am truly going to miss this place. It's a special place. But it's time to go. So, okay, so talk about the future of the podcast a little bit. So, yeah, I took a nice long hiatus. I had intentions of doing some podcasts while I was back in the States with people, but honestly, I was just like, I just want to enjoy every minute of it. And so I did, and I didn't take any time to do anything related to the podcast. And honestly, it kind of made me think about some things, right? So, look, I've done a 2-year unaccompanied tour here in Misawa, and that gives you a lot of time to do things like video editing, and there's a lot that goes with each episode, right? Like, we're probably talking about 2 to 3 hours of editing and uploading and separating MP3 files from the video files, and it's not like a Herculean effort, right? But it is time consuming, and being back home with the family kind of made me understand that, like, I'm probably not going to have that kind of time. Well, I'm not going to have that kind of time, honestly. I need to be able to get on here, do what I'm going to do the podcast, and then upload it, and then walk away, right? And so probably what you're going to see going forward is that, well, first of all, I'm going to go to YouTube only. Quite frankly, I didn't get a lot of traffic on the audio versions. The majority of the traffic was on YouTube anyways. And so going to go to YouTube only for now. It's not to say that it's going to be forever, but for now, I'll get on, do the podcast, whether it's a solo R check or whether it's, an in-person or virtual, and then do just a little bit of editing. In other words, just to put the intro at the front of the podcast, and then upload it to YouTube and kind of walk away, right? I'll do a little bit of like marketing type stuff on Instagram, but I'm not going to go hard in the paint because I'm just not going to have time. Once I'm back with the family, it's going to be more about what are we doing together as a family? Are we going to volleyball games? Are we going out to eat? Like, we just hanging out and watching a movie together. And so like there's not going to be a lot of time for that kind of stuff, right? So it's all good. I'll continue to do content. So Matt, my best friend, he has this saying that I really, really like, and it's low frequency, high impact, right? And so I think that that's kind of the model that I'm going to take going forward with the podcast is low frequency, high impact. So, I'm not going to hold myself to any like schedule or anything. Like, when I have time, I'm going to get on and do an R check, get it out there in the world. And when I schedule, guests, I want them to be valuable, and I want them to have, a big impact and have a big audience, quite frankly. So that said, if you're watching this and, out of the kindness of your heart, you would like to be like my producer, I'll make the content. You do all the things and get it out there. So if that's something that maybe if you hear this or if you watch it and you're like, oh, well, I could do that. I got some spare time. Hey man, I'm happy to bring you on board. Right. So, just let me know. All right. So, with the podcast, I do have some exciting guests coming up. I don't want to say their names because it's going to take time to match schedules, but suffice to say, it's a couple of guys that I really respect, a couple of mentors of mine that are retired from the Navy, and I just can't wait to talk to them and get their perspective on everything, right? Like the Navy and life and family and their transition experience and what the future holds for them. So I don't mean to be cryptic, but I just don't want to put their names out there yet until we've got something locked in. So okay, enough about that. So I do want to talk about this thing that Matt and I have created, right? So some of you that we've chatted, you know about the Freedom Contract. So the Freedom Contract is a nonprofit organization that Matt and I have started. He's the executive director, and I'm the executive vice president. And we're legit. Got our letter from the IRS, the whole thing. And so we're starting to build it, right? And disclaimer, I am still on active duty, and so this is something that I do in a strictly volunteer role. I don't make anything from it. I don't get paid for it or anything, and nor do I, divert assets from the Navy to it, right? So I just got to say that because I don't want people up my ass over it, right? But the Freedom Contract is an organization that is going to connect, motivated, capable veterans that are looking for lucrative and high-paying positions in the general contracting and construction industry. Okay, I think that industry gets overlooked so often because I think that anytime somebody says blue collar, we just think like, man, we're gonna be like, I got a shovel, I got a hammer, like I'm doing hard work, and I want to do hard work when I want to do hard work, but I don't want it to be, I don't want to break my back every day kind of thing, right? But we, Matt is in that world, and he has been for about 12 years. And like we were talking today actually about how, there's so much involved in this contracting and construction world where veteran skills would fit so perfectly, right? So whether it's logistics or project management or technical specialties, electricians, and things like that, and then also like the soft leadership skills that we have that we gain in the Navy, they fit perfectly as like a middle manager, like a site manager type role. So I think that we are building an organization that has a purpose, and I think that there's nothing. When I think about building America, I want it to be veterans that are building America, right? Like you harken back to the end of World War II, and like the greatest generation. They come back and they built America, right? And I think we're kind of in the same place right now, right? And we need veterans in industries that make a difference. And this industry makes a difference tangibly, like in the real world, right? Not just holistically or, in theory. Like, the construction industry is building shit, right? And I think that I know that appeals to a lot of us that are either on active duty or that will be retiring soon, so or separating. And so that's the Freedom Contract. And what I'm doing right now is I'm doing interviews with a lot of veterans. I talked to Josh Lovely this morning. I'm going to talk to Ashley Blanton tomorrow morning, and then I got Cody Park coming up next weekend, and then a couple of the guys that I talked about doing podcasts with. I'm also going to do the interviews with them. And what we're doing with these interviews is we're collecting basically data, right? So what was your experience? What's your impression of the construction industry? How do did you ever consider a career in the general contracting or construction industry? And we're basically going to take a lot of data points from that, and then basically build the curriculum that we're going to use to prepare these veterans to enter into these very high-paying, respectable jobs in the in the construction industry. So I'm excited about it. I'm not afraid to talk about it now. We're legit, and we're getting moving, right? And so what I would ask is, if you're watching this, if you have anybody that you think would be interested in doing an interview with us, or just for any reason, right? Just have them reach out to me or connect us. I'm easy to get in touch with, all the different social media or over email. So anyways, that's what we're doing, the Freedom Contract. More to come. I'm probably going to talk about it quite a bit on these podcasts, because the name of the podcast is The Rising Sun, and the idea behind it was always to continue to rise, continue to get better. And I feel like this nonprofit that we've started is a way for us to help and encourage other folks to continue to rise and get better and do bigger things. And so anyways, we're super excited about it. Okay. Last thing, man, I just got to give a shout out. So one of you see, right? Lions, not underneath it says sheep. Bryce, big ups, man. Recommended me to follow this guy on Instagram. His name's Sean Whalen, and I did. And I'm super skeptical about anybody that puts themselves out there like that. But I did, and he's got an apparel company called Lions Not Sheep, and I'll just tell you, go check it out, right? Yeah, you can go get a grunt style shirt, or you can go get a Nike or whatever, right? Or you can represent something that means something, that is patriotic and that cares about our freedoms. And for me, Lions Not Sheep is kind of that apparel company, right? And so just check it out, man. I'll probably be sporting more of their stuff, because I think that they're legit, and it's kind of a big deal to me. So all right, man, that's it. We're clocking in about 20 minutes. Perfect for an R check. Here's what I ask of you, man. And if you made it this far, thank you. I really appreciate you watching. Please share this with your friends, okay? This was just a welcome back podcast, but there's a lot more to come, where we're going to talk about, first of all, people that are awesome. That's the first format of the podcast, is that I get people on that are badasses. Diana Rogers comes out Tuesday. Stand by. It's in the queue right now, man. It's going to hit the streets at 05 Eastern on Tuesday. But these art checks, sometimes it's just going to be real cool like this, and maybe sometimes I'm going to get on and be fired up, and who fucking knows what might happen at that point, right? So next time you see me, no mustache, I promise, and I can't wait to continue. I know y'all motherfuckers thought I was gone, but I'm not. I'm back. Oh, by the way, permission to speak freely, hit me up. I'm ready to go. All right. That's that, my friends. Thank you very much. I'll talk to you later. I'm out.